Hi guys, at a change of pace today, Aiden's going to be asking the questions and I'm going to be proving my dominance by being the contestant. So take it away, Aid.
Right, question 1. Which former 3-time World Kickboxing Champion won the IBF Featherweight Championship in 1991? So that's which former 3-time World Kickboxing Champion won the IBF Featherweight Championship in 1991? Question 2. Which 3-weight world champion from Jamaica was known as the Body Snatcher? Which 3-weight world champion from Jamaica was known as the Body Snatcher? Question 3. Before Kell Brook challenged Gennady Golovkin, who was the last reigning welterweight champion to challenge for the middleweight belt? Before Kell Brook challenged Gennady Golovkin, who was the last reigning world welterweight champion to challenge for the middleweight belt? Question 4. Who did Ray Mercer beat to win the WBO heavyweight title? Who did Ray Mercer beat to win the WBO heavyweight title? Question 5. Which 80s and early 90s middleweight and super middleweight title challenger was known as the Silk? Which 80s and early 90s middleweight and super middleweight title challenger was known as the Silk? I'll give you a clue with that one, because some commentators also called him the Michael Jackson of boxing. Question 6. Who was the first and second man to beat Marco Antonio Barrera? Who was the first and second man to beat Marco Antonio Barrera? Question 7. Who did Thomas Hearns beat to claim the WBA light heavyweight title? Who did Thomas Hearns beat to claim the WBA light heavyweight title? Question 8. Luis Santana made one successful defense of the WBC super welterweight or light middleweight crown in 1995. Against whom? Luis Santana made one successful defense of the WBC super welterweight or light middleweight title in 1995. Against whom? Question 9. Oscar De La Hoya won his first world title against which boxer? Oscar De La Hoya won his first world title against which boxer? Question 10. 5 British boxers have won at least one version of the heavyweight championship. Can you name them? 5 British boxers have won at least one version of the heavyweight championship. Can you name them? So I'll give you guys 30 seconds now to get your answers together on paper and we go to the results.
Okay.
So Dean, first question, which former 3-time world kickboxing champion won the IBF Featherweight Championship in 1991?
I want to say Troy Dorsey.
Yeah.
Well.
I thought that might trip you up there, but you've seen him fight and he's probably a limited amount of exciting fighters you used to watch at that weight.
I remember you telling me when I was watching him that he was a kickboxer.
Do you remember any other kickboxers or champions or otherwise winning a different title, a different weight run at the same time?
Wasn't one of the Klitschko brothers?
You might have been, yeah. But what was the guy who fought Johnny Nelson? James Waring, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a kickboxing champion as well, was he?
Yeah.
Oh. So,
question 2. Which 3-weight world champion from Jamaica was known as the Body Snatcher?
Mike McCallum.
Yep. That's good. Has anybody else had that nickname since?
Yeah, the heavyweight, Dillian White.
All right. Right. Question 3. Before Kell Brook challenged Gennady Golovkin, who was the last reigning welterweight champion to challenge for a middleweight belt?
Now this one's tough because I was going to say, Felix Trinidad, but he moved up incrementally. Then I thought, did Corey Spinks challenge Jermaine Taylor?
He did, but he won the light middleweight title first.
Okay. So I think we got to go all the way back. Hagler, when he fought Hearns was light middleweight. So after Hagler, there was Leonard. After Leonard was fragmented. Did it well. Wait. You know what? Then I wanted to say Wendell Mugabe wasn't even a welterweight. I don't know.
Marlon Starling fighting Michael Nunn.
I would never have gotten that. Oh, wow. Okay. Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know Starling was still a champion at the time.
Yeah, he was. And then he lost that fight, but he could have won it. It was a very close fight. And then he came back to welterweight and lost his title to Morris Blocker.
Wow. That kind of helped him, that massive weight gain and then coming back down. Yeah. Don't try for greatness, you'd never become great.
So, next question. Who did Ray Mercer beat to win the WBO heavyweight title?
I think it was that Francisco Damiani, the Italian guy.
Yeah, Francesco Damiani. That's it.
Yeah.
He knocked him out with a punch to the nose. That was quite unusual, wasn't it? Horrible sort of knock, really. Flattened my nose punch. Ouch. Next question. Which 80s and early 90s middleweight and super middleweight title challenger was known as the Silk?
Michael Olajai. I remember seeing this picture in Boxing News, and he had his curly little sideburns.
Yeah, Michael Olajai, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
It's good. Who was the first and second man to beat Marco Antonio Barrera?
Right, so does that mean that because Junior Jones beat him twice, is that the answer, or do you have to wait for the second person to beat him?
No.
Junior Jones, right.
Yeah, you go with that. So maybe I should have said first and also the second one. Yeah, so it was Junior Jones.
Yeah, because the other one then was Marquez, wasn't it? Or was it
no,
Morales?
No, it's Pacquiao, I think.
Oh, was it?
Oh, they want to beat him afterwards. Yeah, Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who did Thomas Hearns beat to claim the WBA light heavyweight title?
I think it's Virgil Hill.
Yeah, that's the one. After the lengthy reign, Hill lost to Hearns.
And then hell of a win that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he had another lengthy reign after that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So...
It weren't like cherry picking the guy at the end of his reign. That was a really ballsy sort of move, and he won it.
Right. So Luis Santana made one successful defense of the WBC super welterweight or light middleweight title in 1985 against whom?
He didn't, though, did he? This was this whole saga. Was it? It just annoyed me every time I'd have the Boxing News results. He'd be like, "Oh, he beat him again on disqualification." It was Terry Norris, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they're worth watching fights for people because
getting carried out of the ring.
Yeah, the Luis Santana versus Terry Norris fights. The first two ended in disqualification, weren't
they? Yeah.
So saying you won the fight, but you didn't win the war. Right. Question 9. Oscar De La Hoya won his first world title fight against who?
I want to say Johnny Breda.
Yeah, Jimmy Breeder.
His brother was it. So is that right or wrong then?
I should mark you down for that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would have fight for the bantamweight. So yeah. Right. Last question, probably one of the favourites. 5 British boxers have won at least one version of the heavyweight championship. Can you name them?
No, I've got 7.
You can pick 5.
But I've got 7 British fighters to have won a version.
Okay, give us the 7. You have a look.
And I get my point back for Bredell then. Herbie Hyde, Henry Akinwande, they won the WBO ones.
Yeah.
Frank Bruno, Lennox Lewis won WBC. David Hay won WBA. Bob Fitzsimmons obviously won the first one. And then Anthony Joshua won. So 7.
Yeah. We had Tyson Fury as well, didn't we?
Shit is 8.
Yeah, so I said 5. So yeah, all I want was 5, but that's good.
I thought you said only 5 have won it.
No, I said 5 British boxers have won at least one version. I put 5 because I thought, well, I wasn't going to count them all at the time, so I put 5.
Right. I thought you said only 5, so I thought I was getting one up on you. So technically, I've had 8 out of 10. So that makes me going into the weekend.
Yeah.
I am now the lineal champ.
Cool. But yeah, this last question was basically aimed more to a modern day fan, because obviously going back to Bob Fitzsimmons, and so that's why I put the 5 British boxers down to win at least one title.
I want to explain to people why I had such a nice score. And off air, I told Aiden got the ability to just wipe me out with his general knowledge. So he only asked questions that he knew I saw the fights or I'd seen the episodes. So although I looked like I knew my stuff there, Aiden was being really kind to me.
So we'll test your knowledge next time on all the fights in the 1920s.
Yes. So yeah, that's that for this week. We see you again next week on Monday at 7 p.m. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.